we got cameras over here, we got a camera up there. We're gonna be recording this. You guys are basically a live studio audience. We got Tina D'Elia today. Which is our special guest. See that sign go up, be sure to get as loud as you can. But yeah, so this is gonna be fun. We got Cynthia Landis here as well, just some exercises with us. And so, yeah, just hang back and enjoy the show, I guess I should say. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Brian J. Patterson. Brian.
I am not Julie Chen. Hello, my name is Brian J. Patterson, and welcome to the inaugural episode of CNC Live. Watching, you're probably wondering, what is CNC Live? Well, it's the video counterpart to Coffee and Catchup, and Coffee and Catchup is San Francisco's fresh, new actor and film industry networking group whose sole purpose is to unite and empower the artistic community here in San Francisco. I mean, the word is holla. Coffee and Catchup meets every Friday at 8 a.m. in San Francisco, and during any given meeting we will have roundtable discussions, surprise guests, we'll share our wins of the week, and we'll get advice from other professionals, and we'll sometimes network with people you might not normally have a chance to network with. Now, in today's exciting first episode, we plan on giving you a taste of what we do in person. Okay, so now we're going to get on with the show. It gives me really great pleasure to introduce tonight's host. He is a very talented actor. He's a model, and I had the pleasure of working with him on a project that went national earlier last year. Please welcome your host, Mr. Taylor Lambert.
Coffee and Catchup Live, as Brian mentioned, and today I would like to introduce the fourth speaker of our Coffee and Catchup series, and she is a casting director that is wildly animated, and I put this mildly, of course. It brings me back to an audition I had where I was in the audition and she was simultaneously my love interest, my mother, the cop, the thug beating me up, and my lawyer. All in the span of 2 minutes. I'm like, holy shit, what just happened? She gave me so much freaking energy, it turned out that I booked that role. And so next week I was on set. So, without any further ado, because we need to get this show going, please give it up for your special guest, Miss Tina D'Elia.
Everybody that organized Coffee and Catchup. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. All I got here is dreams come true, right? You came up with a concept. Here it is. It's great. And then congratulate yourself for being here because all of you should be up here as well. And I need to see there's my contributors. That was amazing. Was back there practicing. So we're going to do another exercise. Great. It's Tina D'Elia's exercise called It's a Good Day. We're going to stand. Great. Find your warrior position where your feet are parallel, and you're going to tilt your pelvis not like that and not like that, but you're going to literally tuck in your stomach, roll your shoulders back. Right? So our heart is open. Our heart is open to each other and to ourselves. Our heart is open. So we're not like this, we're right like that. All this great stuff, right? Or the jaw is loose, yes. So if you look forward wherever your eyes land, just imagine your eyes smiling, right? Now, yes, Tyra Banks, America's Best She does smiles, which probably came way before her because the modeling industry was doing it, because the acting industry was doing it, because in 1965, Frederick Alexander, that I studied the Alexander technique, used that as one of the many, many tools for actors and for anyone. So we may not want to walk in the room and suddenly, we're smiling, which might seem a little scary at times, or, appropriate, to sort of have a permanent smile, but to smile with our eyes. Okay. So close your eyes for a second. Think about a moment that you're terrified. Now, it could be an audition, it could be you're on set. And so when you open your eyes and you feel that terror, immediately, I'm tight here. I got that scary eye look in my eyes, right? I'm like, I'm tense. So I have to start talking to myself. Are you in your 3 spot? So the 3 spot of my. Am I in my 3 spot? Am I breathing? Is my breathing coming from here and not from here? Sorry, but is my butt tense? Don't tense your butt here. But at the same time, pull in the lower abdomen so that I'm not crushed down, right? So, and then as opposed to the look of fear, because I'm nervous all the time when I'm doing all these fun, big things I'm doing, instead what's happening is opposed to going to the, oh my God, I'm freaking out, what if I mess up? I didn't wear the right underwear, I ate the jelly donut, why did I choose these boots? Instead, it's like, okay, so try to smile with my eyes. And we can tell ourselves, it's a good day. It's a good day, right? It's a good day. So you can even just say it to yourself right now, right? It's a good day. It's a good day. Yeah. So, it was very close to here. It's like down by Pine and Bush. It's a good day. Circa 2011, the fall. Director Chris, over 6 feet tall. I've done all my lines on set. The camera's about to roll. Tina, all I want you to do is just go to the bank, open the door, and walk in. Okay. All right, so it all happened. Shh. All the tension, all the voices in the head, all the overthinking. So, action. Cut. Right, listen to the director, the president, try to smile, try not to say like, why didn't I? Tina, it's a good day. It's a good day.
That's a good day.
It's a good day, right? We're at an audition, we're auditioning, we book the role, we're on set, we're in our game, we're here right now. It's a good day.
It's a good day.
Right? I'm sure we could all imagine as actors when it's not a good day. Actors and professionals when it's not a good day. Usually when we're auditioning, it would be a good day. We book the job, it's a good day. So, but at any moment, I need something to switch, right? And I'm not in my head like I'm fully in my body. So I tested that out a year later when it was like, now I need you to move the car, don't crash it, hit the gas, say your line, move backwards, and all I can think is, don't crash the car, don't crash the car, don't crash the car. What do I do? I have to teach a workshop in 3 weeks. I'm a fraud, what's going to happen? I wasn't on underwear, jelly donut, why am I wearing these boots? It's freezing out here in Fremont.
Why am I in Fremont?
All of that in a few seconds, right? Right? And again, I had to say that, where am I tense, right? Breathing from here, shoulders back, right? The look of fear, right? It was just, I'm hearing everyone that's speaking to me, and my responses, and I probably said it to them as I was listening. I said, okay, great, sure, it's a good day, sure. But what I was saying to myself as they walked away is I was like, it's a good day. It's a good day. You're putting this to the test right now. It's a good day. It's a good day. So then when they called action, I didn't go, and when they called cut, I didn't go, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to, or I went home and beat myself up. It's a good day. It's a good day. I have a lot of actors that come into audition with me, and literally the first thing they say when they walk in the room, no matter how terrified they are, is, hey, Tina Dalia, we both want to be there, even when we're terrified. Thank you.
And that is actually why we're so happy to have Tina, because she understands that. This collaborative spirit, all making art together, even in the audition rooms.
Yes.
So yes. So welcome.
Thank
Good
you.
to have you.
It's so great to be here.
Now, we were able to manage a little bit of production money to for these coffee mugs here. I know you're SAG. Now you're SAG. We couldn't pay your SAG rate. But what we could do is and when I say we, I mean could scrounge together some nickels and pennies to provide you this. Now, at the checkout on Zazzle, it was $7.50. So I wanted to add the customized Tina Delia, but the extra ink was over 25. So we just had to do that. So, I hope that's all right.
It is all right, and next time I'm sure there's somebody in the audience that might even donate.
Yes, there we go.
A little
We
bit.
got the donation ad.
That might donate because, in fact, I would like to wake up every morning and see Taylor Lambert and Cameron Lucas. And then of course, we can add our names too.
Yeah, absolutely. Zazzle's great.
I love it.
Little Zazzle plug. Anyway, so Tina, yes. So on the website, Tina. So it's Tina's SAG, right? SAG people, that's big money. Hear that? So she's worked as a professional actor in the Bay Area for over 16 years. Wow. Tina moved from Boston, Massachusetts, where she predominantly performed in theater, solo performance, and performance poetry. Maybe we can hear something today. You've been SAG actress since 2004.
Yep.
Awesome. With JD Talent. And you starred in movies, TV, commercials, industrials, print, theater, and solo performance. Woo! In principal roles in films such as The Pursuit of Happiness, which shot here, Mercy Man, and Knife Fight. Nice. She has written and co-produced 3 one-woman shows: Forgotten Angel, 94-95, Groucho, A Day in the Delia Suit. I'm so self-conscious about saying that.
It's okay.
Tiny Delia, what's the name? I thought I had it. And the Rita Hayworth of This Generation. And guys, if you haven't seen these shows, you've got to go on YouTube. Just go on YouTube. 2 minutes and 35 seconds. And this is where I know she can do all these roles in a split of a second. And I almost got away with it. Our Bay Area Emmy Award-winning series that we all go to. There's always these different characters immediately. So on the YouTube, I can imagine in person, it's just amazing. But even on YouTube, I was so entranced. I was like, it's such a fierce commitment to it. And each time you jumped to that new character, I was totally with you the entire time. So, wow. But yeah, so let's jump into some Q&A. Sounds
Great.
good?
That's awesome.
Yes. So, you're an actor.
Yes.
Why?
Why? Great question.
Go.
Yes, I'm an actor because.
Perform.
Yes, because when I was about 5 years old, I had no interest in paying attention to somebody's baptism, which was my cousin's, unfortunately. I was present, in spirit, but instead I wandered down the hallway of this big church, and my parents they made us go to Catholic church, and I love my parents.
Yeah.
However, I just felt like this all needs to change. And it's the 70s, and so I knew that 5-year-old girls were not allowed just to go wander up to the altar, but I did because there was a point I was like, I have a mission here. There's something that's just driving me. So I get up there and I start talking to my audience, my non-existent audience, and I see the podium, and I'm like, I couldn't even get on that mic if I wanted to. If it was on, I could get on that mic. And I immediately knew that I was like, I'm compelled to say something. I have something to say. There's a reason that I'm here. There's a message. I never called it a calling, but I knew very much that I was like, there's a purpose of something I want to communicate, and I want to connect with people. And then, because my second show, for instance, being Graduate Day in the Delia Soup, so I'm very influenced by a lot of performers and legendary deceased performers like the late Groucho Marx. So I also knew at 5 that I wanted to entertain and I wanted to connect, and that
laughter is amazing, and it's, it transfers like globally and makes us feel good and connected and alive and great. And sexy and fabulous.
Yeah.
So then I also was trying to, I was also trying to sort of make up a tap dance, I was trying to entertain, so I got that, I was like, I want to communicate both, and I understood that both were very different. And then I'm like, my time is up, because what if somebody, drags me off the stage here? That would be the altar of this church, so I crawled back and joined my family, and my friend Natasha Hughes, who's a really brilliant stand-up comedian in the Bay Area, she said to me like, oh right, so that was when you baptized yourself as an actor. And I thought, sure, right, that was what it was. I wasn't thinking about that, but that was what it was, because I automatically knew that I wanted to connect, and I wanted to connect with the message, and I wanted to be able to make it, for me, if it's not real and it's not somehow transforming our lives or making things feel either better in the world, or that we're highlighting something that we want people to, see in the world, or just freaking be able to feel alive and good.
Well, with me all the time, I just feel like sometimes I need to just express, I
Yes.
don't care as much about the result, the process,
Yes.
I just need a healthy channel
Yes.
to get stuff out. And
Yes.
I share that with a lot of actors up here.
Yes, and thank you for Healthy Channel, because a lot of self-written work has been about, right, and I've had many different points or paths, and some of it is about, sometimes it's a healthy channel to express, sometimes it's because I do want to heal through something that's really awful, and then sometimes it's about like, oh my God, I want to take you to this crazy magical world.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
Yeah, and you've done so many one-woman shows. Any advice you can give to the audience for actresses? Because I think it's great. We need women to have a stronger voice in this industry. And Ryan Patterson is really trying to set up this diversity initiative to reflect how society really is, and not just the Hollywood version. And so all of our guest speakers have been women, except for Carl. And that's great. That's great. And we're just trying to we're trying to have fun with that. So what is advice you can give to actors from concept to creation about getting up there and just having this idea and then going to the Marshia or somewhere and doing it? Because I'm sure that would be of interest, especially a lot of us like to write, a lot of us like to coach yourselves in the mirror, all these types of things, and the fact that you can do it all by yourself with zero production budget, pretty much.
Right.
I mean, the power of the word, the free word, is powerful. So.
It is. Well, thank goodness in the Bay Area there are a lot of great coaches, and there are classes in solo performance. And every time I would set out to write anything, both when I was in Boston and here, I would always go to take a class of structure, momentum of other people, seeing what other people are doing, having a deadline, and knowing that there'd be like a live performance at the end. And so kind of setting it up that already you have your, this is, part one, and then you can go back, take another class, part two. So there were so many teachers, like way back in the day, there was a place called Z-Space Studios that, right, so I went through Z-Space Studios, so that was a great incubation place, but there's other places that are like that here, and I met Ellen Sebastian Chang and Angel Jor, and I took some classes with Angel Jor, and I took some workshops, and I hired Ellen Sebastian Chang to do some solo performance work, and they're still around in the Bay Area. Yet I knew with the Rita Hayworth of this generation, I was like, I need something to hit, I need something to land, and I probably from time to time go to my business page and I start talking about how David Ford is brilliant like a sunset. If you haven't seen, you write that down, I told that in person. So I've been to a bunch of different theater company folks, and I listened to Stephen Jones, who I love, great actor in the Bay Area.
Yeah, all these names, I need to do some research.
And I had said to him, like, Stephen, what do you think? I know I need this help with Rita. I need to go deeper, and it's already great if you have a group of friends that you're working with and already you can give this kind of feedback to. So I know I was looking for a lot of that, including being in a space that's a theater too. Like these are sort of upping the ante and sort of embodying, like, okay, this is my audience and this is how I'm connecting. Not that in our living rooms, which is for many of us our bedroom and our office and our study, like our yoga studio, all the same space. 5 feet, but sidebar. So I looked at Charlie Byrne and I looked at David Ford and I was really recommended The Marsh, and that was in 2010, and I've taken now 4 classes with David Ford, and I'm taking a 5th. So that's my big plug. What's lovely is the Marsh will list a lot of great classes. You can get on a list to do Monday Night Marsh, so you would perform some of your work just in general, because you have like a piece that you're like, I wanna, you know, and you have to find out like when's Monday Night Marsh, and they may ask for you to send your information. But definitely taking a class is a whole different level, right? So people that are gonna work with you exactly where you are. So if you're starting from blank with your, you know, the story you wanna have,
Okay, great.
David Ford has been my person. Great.
Okay, awesome. So just a little shift in the conversation.
Great.
Big question here. And let's see, so it seems to me that in an audition waiting room,
Yes.
you know, the bane of an actor's existence, the focused energy, which I believe is very good, tends to turn very quickly to tense energy.
Yes.
These are two, in my view, two very different things.
Yeah.
Tension and focus. But they're very similar sometimes, in a way. And that's the last thing you want, right?
Right.
So, in your view, what is the appropriate behavior for an actor attempting to create a comfortable atmosphere in an audition room? Because I know Andy Strong and I have our own methods, and believe me. I mean, if it were up to me, I'd be holding hands with everybody just running around. And I'm feeling good, letting it out. Because you sense the space, you're an actor, you feel
Yes.
things, you get into the audition waiting room. And you're in, you know, and your heart rate's going up, you're sweating,
Yes.
so it doesn't feel like it's a good day anymore. You're just like,
Thank you.
we're in San Francisco, we're revolutionizing acting.
Yes.
So so can I take that one step further?
Yes.
Is the actor's responsibility to therefore try to make it comfortable for the sake of everybody else doing their best? The idea that we all rise together. Different auditions have given different, I felt different things, obviously, so I felt when it was appropriate, but I don't know, I mean, maybe it's too general of a question, but any thoughts?
Oh, it's a great question. It's an excellent question. I mean, yeah, sometimes I go into an audition space and I can tell that everyone is in their own zone already, which I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Because I feel like it's just as important to prepare, when you're preparing your beginning, middle, and end of an audition, like getting there, arriving, being there in the auditioning room, you audition when you're done, how you exit, how you leave, right? Not rushing, but you're not lingering, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're just sort of doing your thing, and then exiting out the door. I showed up on time, I wore the shoes I liked, I got my snack in my bag. Yes! I did. So, and the reason I do that is because other actors have taught me that too, is the leaving and being like, I have to be able to say something positive I did. Have to, especially if it was the hardest audition and if one is going to go into the negative place. And there's got to be like, then you got to have at least 3 things. Being like, you know, and I like my shoes, but it might be bigger than that. It might be like, wow, I took that adjustment. Yes, and then let it go. So the auditioning room, yes, it's a good day. It's a good day.
Yeah.
So when I walk into an auditioning room, that is my work.
Right.
To go into that same place of, oh my God, so my stuff and feeling all the energy from everybody else and being like, this is my work too.
Exactly, that's why I asked you, because when you
It's
come
a
into
good
your
day.
audition, it's like amazing.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
Yes, and I love Craig Wallace with the Craig Wallace technique, his book, The Best of You. He's a casting director out of LA. I reread his book all the time. I found it in the library, I love that, he's on YouTube. And he'll always say, all of us have permission to literally go into the auditioning room, sort of like, hey, hi, hi. And then whatever it is we need to do. My key suggestions, see now, I would actually write down, Taylor would hold everybody's hands and run around, like Groucho Marx would say, it's wonderful to be here, this magnificent washout. Turnout, right? So you might write down those things.
Turnout.
Right, I got a feeling, so that, these are all that, and you might be like, that wouldn't be my theme song, Tina. Well, find your theme song, So, so I literally might open my book or my journal and there we go. There's my thing. Taylor's gonna run my, so this is what's happening, right? I'm saying it, I'm reading it, and then suddenly I'm, so now I'm like, I'm having, this is like, I'm giving myself my own moment. Sort of like.
Because it's such a small community, I feel like you know a lot of the actors here.
Right.
You know actors that come in. So do you sort of gauge what you're gonna do depending on who they are and what kind of energy they give you too? Or is it like
Sometimes.
totally up to the god of Dionysus Theater? I don't know.
Sometimes, I mean, I guess what I'm saying with the auditioning room is, right, our energy is an exchange. So when we go in, there's an exchange. When we're in the waiting room, it's an exchange. So whatever one needs to do, I'm the fan of like, bring your book, or print out the sides, have all the things that one needs, right?
Yeah.
And then recognize, sorry, I wanted to make sure I made the note of Craig Wallace, that we all have permission to just be like, hey, I'm just taking a moment. And if we need to move away from anything or anyone, then that's what we'll do. But since you know me, if you feel like there happens to be some energy that is so disruptive, we're just like, like somebody's just like, last night was, I wish you had told me about the two other people, like, if that's what's going on, then you can, wait, what? Right, exactly. Then if you know me, then you can just between the break just say, can you say something about everyone, let's be in each other, let's be in our zone right now. Just give each other space for it to be in our zone. Because I think eye contact is a great thing. And usually people will be like, right? So it's just, like in other words, my eyes will be like, I will start to see people just move, right? People will be like, oh, I gotta move. So yes, so just being able to know that we have a right to have our zone.
Right.
And sometimes it's cool to just be like, hey, Taylor, how are you doing? Great. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna focus. So when we go in, the same thing, that I'm reading the other person's energy. So if I'm walking in and you're the casting director, I'm seeing where you are.
Yeah.
Are you standing? Do you want to shake my hand? Are you sitting? So I'll just go to my slate,
Right,
maybe
I don't even
chit
care
chat.
about the project anymore. I just want to see you. I just go to the audition and hang out.
Right,
You've seen me in every state possible.
This is true, which is great. And so, right, we don't know what's gonna happen when we enter the room. So,
Right.
Yes, I always think about all these other casting directors have said to me, if we carry the exact same energy that we didn't get the job, and it was a hard audition the last time, in the room this time, it may not work for us so well, right? It's like,
Awesome.
great to see you,
Yeah.
oh gosh, versus just being like, it's a good day.
Right.
I'm auditioning.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, great, now like I get to see your work today. I'm not thinking about yesterday, I'm not thinking about 2 weeks ago, I get to see you right now.
Awesome. Yes?
Yes.
So my final question before we
Great.
open it up to Q&A. There's so much collaboration in San Francisco.
Yes, thank goodness,
And,
great.
and certainly a coffee and ketchup, right? It's just like a collaborative smorgasbord. That one might start to think, well, don't I have to be competitive in this marketplace to book jobs? I mean, what's the deal here? Why is everyone holding hands, running around in circles, yelling? It seems that this is what we're fed to believe as actors, right? We need to fight for our roles and not share secrets. But coffee and ketchup has a different view. So it's sort of a broader question, and then we can kind of segue this into the audience if anyone wants to share your own ideas and thoughts about your philosophy between collaboration and competition. Because sometimes it's like I just said, how can you be collaborative and work a job? I mean, you need to pay the bills and be the one who's that guy, not all your friends.
Yes. I know, this is where I'm like, gosh, I love actors. I love the craft of acting. I have so much admiration because acting is powerful and the business and what we have to do is so challenging, right?
Right.
It's like, it's like trying to explain to somebody who has no idea, right? They're like, so you could go out 1,000 times and maybe like 10%, you might get something, in sort of that sort of return. And instead it's sort of turning it around and saying, what can I get out of it every time I do it? And so it won't just be about booking. So there's both like sort of how we're gonna have a relationship with our own auditioning process and looking at that again. Yes, I feel like we can be aware that there's pressure and there's competition, and it doesn't have to affect us. It's like that's not my job. I was just like, somebody else is hiring me right now. which
Yeah.
probably seems so counterintuitive, right?
Well, that brings me to my thought that maybe there's individual competition.
Sure,
Become competitive with yourself.
yes,
Be better than the last time. Because you can only be your best self in an audition room. People see you for who you are. So you're not going to beat out anybody. That's just a silly thought. And I feel like because San Francisco has that philosophy, we're just wise. We get it. And it's something for longevity. It's something to like keep this beautiful foundation growing, you know? Keep it sustained
yes.
through the years.
Through the years, and as far as collaboration, I feel like there's no way we could actually do everything we're doing without each other.
Without each other, yeah.
So, before I became a casting associate for Nina Henninger and a casting director, before that, I was still saying to people like, hi, that's great, can you blame 5 other people, 3 people, and I need 4 people next week, and I need somebody to, you know, like that was still happening, and that was why, that was what brought me to what I do, and I love what I do as a person in casting. That it was simply about going, you know, you didn't have a job yesterday, but suddenly I'm calling you and going, are you available then? Can I pick up, you know, and it was simply because you told me that when you were 5, you did an accent like, you know, you know, you understood how to tumble like Charlie Chaplin. I need you, you know, like, you're like, I'm a clogger. You know, like,
Anyone else's thoughts? What are your guys' thoughts in the audience about David? Yeah, hi.
Hi. I think pretty good competition is collaboration. If somebody gets it and they take it to the next level, you go, oh, well.
We have to rise there.
Yeah, and so a really good competition is a high form of collaboration.
Great idea.
Great, I love hearing that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Quick question. One of the biggest things that I've noticed that the difficulty for me in auditions is pacing. I tend to, when I'm in an audition, go so quick. Because I've noticed that the thing about actors is we're all very quick-worded. We like to speak quick, like get our thoughts out, and just bam, 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 bam. When you're auditioning, they literally like, slow it down to as slow as you possibly can. And I'm just like, okay, what are they doing? Because I'm speaking, and I feel like I'm talking slow, but even the way I speak now, it's very quick. So how do you go about pacing?
I love that. I'm going to keep saying thank you to Cynthia. So warm-ups, so all the little things we're doing help us to slow down because the nerves will automatically bring us up. So playing 5 characters on stage, as you saw in the clips, for an hour and a half, I have to make sure that everybody understands what I'm saying for an hour and a half. Right?
Hour and a half straight?
An hour and a half straight. I think it's going to go back to an hour and 15 minutes. I know, I'm sorry for people, but the point is that, so I'm having to rehearse it for myself, that it's not sped up because already I'm going to speed up because I'm nervous, and the energy is elevated. So, that being said, that would be a great exercise. If we couldn't do it when we were at home working on our lines, that might be actually at the top of your list when you're in the auditioning waiting room. Top of my list is I gotta practice this slow. And the reason I was thinking also of Cynthia is one of the vocal exercises and acting exercises people do is over enunciate for so many reasons. One so that we can hear the consonants, we can hear the sentence, the screenwriter in the room can hear their words being said. And, and some people think like, wouldn't that, I go in the audition room, is that going to sound terrible? Usually like the timing will work out. So.
You take your time on the enunciation.
Enunciation.
Gotcha.
So, is it knowing usually the nerves are going to have a speed. And I think there was a question there.
Go ahead, you guys, this is your session.
I was upset at what we were saying about collaboration, and that's like my philosophy, like together we're a force, yes, alone we're just one. And that's what the whole thing about coffee and ketchup, that's my philosophy as well, like in business, we can bring the bigger and bring together, but separately, we're just one. We're competing with everybody individually, the whole world together, we're like a huge force.
Yes. Oh my God, I love that. I love that. Thank you. I love that. Rebecca, thank you, Rebecca.
This is Mike.
An example for me of competition and collaboration is I was at an audition at Nina Henninger just recently for a major feature film. And so when I walk in the room, there's, as I'm sure we've all experienced this, like 7, 10 people who look just like you. And the thing I try to remember is that I am competing against these guys, but I'm also here to show the casting director what I can do.
Yes.
You're not trying to copy anyone, and especially if you're trying to play a character who's a real life person, you still want to bring your own uniqueness, because we're all unique actors. You know, we all bring something new to every part. So.
My favorite is this woman of applause.
Everybody, of course.
Well, the important thing about collaboration is the spread of ideas and the ignite of ideas, because all the things that you would have thought of otherwise if you weren't collaborating with somebody or speaking with somebody are. So when you have those people together and you're sharing those ideas, the ideas just continue to flourish, and that's the beautiful thing, not just in acting but in everything in life.
Yes.
The spreading of ideas and the spreading of communication between each other. And it even helps with when you're in the casting room. You see somebody you know, oh, everything's much a little nicer, a little more calm. Oh, it's Taylor, what's up, man? It's good. And stuff like this is invaluable. It really
Because
is.
if anything, it'll make it a good day.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Goes
yes.
from good to great.
Yes,
Yeah.
from good to great.
Yeah.
Keep doing this.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What I've learned as far as what has humbled me in the acting realm is diversifying the roles that I do aside from acting. Meaning I'll go in and be a PA if I can. I'll go in and be the gaffer. I'll do whatever it takes to be around the set to get the experience from the other side of things. And it really humbles me to realize all that goes into a production. And it reminds you that, you know, as an actor, you kind of go into this little world, everyone's like, can I get you anything? And it's like, well, we've all been in the ones where they're like, yeah, you're on in 2 minutes and you gotta get your own lunch. So that's, we've all been there. I'm just saying, like, as far as like doing other things outside of acting, it really helps, I feel, like take away a lot of the nerves, because you're able to, you know, relate. You go, oh, I know what you're doing. I get what you're doing over there with that light and the thing. And you just feel a little bit more comfortable.
Sure. Any other questions? Any questions? Yeah.
Yes, if you don't mind, I'm gonna change it a
Yeah,
little bit
please do,
and ask
please do.
questions. So, before coming to San Francisco, all of these reenactment shows that I know you work on, pretty much all of them, were completely unknown to me. I was a poor college student, so I didn't have cable for a long time. So all of these Wives with Knives, Sex Set Me at the Slammer, I almost got away with
Never got one of
it.
those yet.
And now the new one, I almost killed myself.
Bay Area Swedish.
Why so many of them, and why are they all here, and how did it happen that they are filmed here, and what is your experience working on them?
I
Ask her, not you.
I just read a New York Times article about it. I mean,
Really?
wine sells.
Yeah.
And internationally,
If it
people
bleeds,
love
it
this
bleeds.
stuff.
That was the journalist, that was the motto, if it bleeds, it bleeds.
It leads, yeah. I think Carl Marino, who's one of our guests here, is Lieutenant Joe Kenda on
Yes.
Homicide Night.
Yeah.
I think he's on his 5th season now. So, I mean, and they fly him out to Tennessee, like, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess it's something about, like, the drama and the romance and the crime all kind of fused together, and it's based on something real. I mean, it's like one of the biggest grossing markets right now.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So how did San Francisco happen to get such a large chunk of it?
So Indigo Films in San Rafael, they were the lucky ticket, the lucky production company to say we can do this, we can do this really well, and they have their whole spiel down, they've got it down, so they can pull out the shows, you know, it's like 3 episodes in 5 days, and you know, and what I love about the way they work is they work with improvisation, and that's why improvisation is in the auditions, and I almost feel like, you know, in a lot of ways they started probably the way Coffee and Catchup started, which is, you know, they had a team of people and they figured out what their strengths were, and then whoever else they needed to bring along, because I feel like in the force of the community, I feel like we can actually bring more feature films and independent films. We can do that because, again, collectively, because of our voices. So, you know, so this company, this production company found a market and said, we can do this, and we can do this really well, and we're going to get better and better at it. And then they kept getting the feedback. You know, Oprah put it on her channel. You know, I down the plane.
Yeah.
What's it? So, yes.
And motel in Kansas City.
Yes.
We will do Katrina first, and then go up the road. Hi, Katrina.
So with all the Indigo stuff, I mean, going in there, pretty much everyone in this room has probably been on a few of those shows a few times, and we see you on a regular basis, and we all know what we're doing. We all know what the quality of the programming is going to be. So how is it that you balance having fun, because we know what it is we're making there,
Right.
with taking it seriously enough to give them the best product?
Great.
You can take that one.
Sure. Well, for me as an actor, every time I take on a role, I mean, it's my job to really know, am I gonna give this my all? And there may be a difference between 1,000,000% and 1,000% for me. And 1,000,000% may look like, you know, I'm gonna do all this research for a really long time, and I'm gonna explore the dialect, I'm gonna and then there's sort of like, you know, I'll give 1,000% and I'll, you know, really work on this character and think about these moments and work on that. So with maybe something like Indigo Films, I might, you know, be prepared, give my 1,000%. I don't need to, you know, be studying, you know, what happened in Mexico in 1642 to understand, you know, this character's choice and their ancestry. So I feel like that's my job. Now, if I show up to set and I feel like I'm kind of like, you know, I don't know if everybody else is on board here. Okay, but I feel like that's my job because I feel like at least, you know, I know that, and in terms of what David was saying, you know, it's like competitive, you know, really competition is sort of elevating it. So I'm going to go in and I want to have a great time, and who knows who I'll work with again on that set, and it might be the same people. And, you know, and typically there is somebody that's like, I know the lights didn't work, I know people didn't show up, and, you know.
How much decision making do you have in that casting? Do you just give it off to corporate and they decide, or do you pull for people?
Typically the director decides and the producer has, you know, some say. However, casting will try to, you know, put through recommendations as much as we can, because sometimes we can be given a lot. But I want to make sure I answer your question. I don't know, I was halfway there.
Well, just more in terms of sometimes, well, and especially in the bigger market, there are a lot
Yes.
of shows that we do that are really run and gun and everything's rushed.
Right.
And you want to approach it seriously as an actor and
Yes.
give it 100%, but sometimes you can arrive on set and if you're 100% there and it seems like things are kind of falling apart because other people aren't,
Yes.
it's hard to not die a little.
Gotcha. I hear you. Right. Okay. That's great. So, you know, and at times I'll make a note to myself to put it to the side, which is, you know, do we want to do this again, these folks? Put it to the side and write it down and deal with it later. Okay. You know, so right, and to me, like you're still elevating that process by saying, like, don't die. You know, like once again, Taylor says running around holding hands. I got a feeling it's a good day, right? Go back to your journal or your book or whatever it is, like, and it's also, I feel like any of us can help, you know, teach somebody else. So it's also that teachable moment. Like I remember being on set going, I want everyone to care as much as I am right now. You know, it's okay if, you know, things maybe feel rushed or the budget is zero or what have you, but at least I can see that people are, you know. Have you ever observed something when you're like, that person really doesn't have a job? Whereas some set of people know that they have a job. They're literally like, right? They're having a job. Even if they don't have a job, they make themselves have a job. And I feel like that's my job as an actor, is to be like, I don't want someone to look at me as an actor and go, do they have a job? So, yes.
Question time.
Yes.
Let's do Olivia.
Hi, I've actually never had the pleasure of auditioning for you.
In the future.
Yeah, so I think that's like one of my main questions. I guess it's more of a administration question. Is that I've been with my agent for like 8 months now, and I've only been sent out for things. I guess I'm not the agent, so I don't know, but that I'm completely wrong for. And I'm starting to, and they're all very like big commercial things, and don't get me wrong, I'd love to do a commercial, that'd be great, but I just don't think that that's that I'm what they're looking for as far as in the commercial sense. And I feel like I don't get the opportunities. I've never even seen you at an audition, and everybody in here is talking about how many auditions they've been on, you know, for these shows. And I'm wondering, like, SF Casting is a great resource, and of course having an agent is a great resource, but where would I go to, because I've never even seen a casting for that. So where would I go to now, because I don't feel like I'm getting what I need from my agent, where can I go to like get those things without being like, well, there's nothing for me in San Francisco, on to LA.
I'll just say real quick, the first step is you coming here this morning.
Yes. And starting today, you know, could you find some folks, some peers, to say, you know, I mean, it's great to also play casting directors and agents with each other, to say like, okay, and make it intentional, like, let's look at your profile together, we're gonna look at your profile. Like, great, when was that picture taken? Can we switch your hair up? Like, you've got a lot of stuff going on, can we just take some pictures that don't have all these earrings or whatever and things and stuff covering you up? Since you feel like someone isn't getting a sense of you, I know I try to use myself as an example because I'll have these conversations with myself. I'll be like, so how am I putting myself out there into the world, you know, or re-showing myself to my agent, or sitting down and saying, the nice thing about agents is we can say, you know, if we feel like it's necessary, like, I've had a great time working with you, thank you so much, we write them that nice card and just say, I'm gonna, you know, right now I'm gonna kind of self-submit and, I don't know, and, you know, close our partnership, and thank you so much for all this great work you've done with me. However, I do try to go back to those, I wouldn't say it's basics. I mean, it's basics, but it's also sort of, it's what the advanced actor that has been around working in the Bay Area for a long time too, is always going back and going, you know, did I update everything? Like, how am I presenting myself to the world? What do I want to be in? If you are going up to getting your next headshots, are you going in there and you're saying the person's taking your headshots? This is who I am. So I see myself doing ba 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 and going, great. So we're going to go in that direction. That's what I did with Lisa Keating. I said, here's what I see. You know, here's how I'm reframing myself, and I know people call that branding and what have you. But you could do that with your peers. You could say, okay, let me see yours. You know, and let me be like, so roll to your image, headshot. Let me see your, you know, roll to image. And then all of the reenactment shows are on SF Casting. So the question may be, you know, it's in the breakdown, or some people in SF Casting don't say the work they've done. They only say their sizes and a photo or two. Do people know that?
You mean on your resume?
Right, so some people don't fill out their resume.
Yeah, well, what? That's weird.
Right, I know, because I see hundreds and hundreds of them, right? So some people will be like, I'll be like, you were on the show 6 months ago, you were lead, and there's nothing that reflects that, and I'm like, that's gonna bring people back in, so just even starting there.
Great.
Yes.
Awesome. Do we have time for 2 more, 1 more?
It's 10.
1 more?
We
Final or no?
We could do real quick one more.
Real quick, 1 more? Yes.
My name is Hassan Moore. For the last couple of years, I've been a writer and director, but I started to do more of my own casting. And I just wanted to know, how judgmental should I be if an actor eats the jelly donut?
Wow.
And, is the jelly donut a metaphor?
No.
Can you provide a quick example?
Oh, no. I just mean if there's only one jelly donut.
Oh, so you go to set and you eat all the jelly donuts, right?
He's thinking of funny.
It's
Yeah.
funny, it's
I love it.
I do too.
Right, I mean,
Cool.
right. I feel like if the jelly donut works for that person, great.
And on that note, guys,